One of the top questions we get from people moving to Iowa is, what is the cost of living in Iowa? That's what we're going to cover, and I will break down for you that in this video. We have done a ton of videos on Iowa, and if you haven't checked those out, make sure to do that after this video. But in this video, we're going to do a deep dive into what it costs to live in Iowa. We're going to use bestplaces.net for most of our information, and they use a scale where 100 is the baseline or average for the entire United States. Overall, Iowa scores an 80.1 for cost of living. That is nearly 20% lower than the national average. The big reason Iowa is so affordable is because of its housing, which scored a 55.4, or nearly a whopping 45% cheaper than the national average. This gives you the opportunity to get much more bang for your buck than the average state out there. We have had clients move from many places in the United States, and the last home we helped a YouTube client from was Boise, who closed this week on a ranch home for $205,000. The YouTube couple that we helped said that the same ranch house in Boise would have been between $400,000 to $600,000 there. Pretty insane. Beware though that Iowa still has a medium sale price average for homes at $229,600. According to redfin.com, we also had a client looking at homes and wanted to try finding something decent for under $65,000. I do want to be transparent and tell you that anything under $100,000 in most of Iowa is going to be rough and debatable if it will even be livable. Iowa housing is affordable, but in November of 2023, to get a home livable, you will need to be realistic and start at $100,000 or more. There are outliers, but it is a little bit unrealistic to find anything that low in price. Even though it is Iowa, people don't want to give their home away. If you're watching this, then you are probably considering moving to Iowa, and us at the Living in Iowa team are specialized in helping people just like you relocate all throughout the state. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, as we would love to connect. Next lowest cost of living on bestplaces.net list is transportation, which they are going by gasoline prices, car insurance, maintenance expenses, and mass transit fare. According to gasprices.aaa.com, Iowa is in the second lowest tier for gas prices, with the current gas prices when this video was shot on November 8th being $3.10. If you compare that to the highest priced state for gas in California at $5.12, or a national average of $3.40, Iowa is very affordable in gas. Next is car insurance. This depends obviously on your history, but we will go by averages from insure.com, where Iowa car insurance is $1,321 or $110 a month, compared to the national average of $1,682 or $140 a month. Then you got groceries that sit at 94.4 on the 100 scale. Next up is miscellaneous, such as restaurants, clothing, entertainment, that all scores combined 96.3. Next up is utilities, such as gas and electricity, at 98.5. And the only cost of living that is more expensive than the national average is health, that scores 100.8 on the 100 scale. I do want to throw in here that Iowa does have many grocery stores and shopping that many don't always know about. For example, Iowa has Walmarts, Targets, Lowe's, Home Depots, Menards, Hy-Vees across the state, Aldi, Fairway, Trader Joe's, Natural Grocers, Costco, bigger and smaller strip malls with tons of restaurants. Overall, shopping is great here in Iowa and affordable. Before we dive deeper, my name is Tony Lukin, and my business partner is my wife Anna. We are the founders of the Living in Iowa team, and if you want to know what it's like to eat, sleep, work, play, and buy or sell real estate in the state of Iowa, then you are at the right channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you are notified each and every time we come out with a new video. We also have tons of people reaching out to us about what it's like living in Iowa, and we absolutely love that. So if this is you, make sure to connect with us, whether that is a phone call, text messaging, or email. We would absolutely love to help you make that smooth move to Iowa. I want to use redfin.com to explain where the housing market has went in the last few years and how much Iowa real estate has appreciated since COVID in early 2020. The median sale price in Iowa in February of 2020 was approximately $160,000. If you look at the prices today of nearly $230,000, that is a $70,000 jump to today, or roughly 30% increase since early 2020. If you compare that to bigger states using redfin.com like California, where the median home sale price of a home in 2020 was nearly $550,000 to today roughly $787,000. That is a jump of $237,000 and once again roughly 30%. Iowa prices may have went up similar percentage, but the amount is so much lower that Iowa is able to stay relatively affordable. One last state that many are moving to is Texas. Let's see how the numbers fare when comparing Iowa to Texas. In 2020, Texas median sale price of a home was approximately $240,000. Today, that price is up to around $350,000. This is a jump of $110,000 or just over 31%. Again, the prices are higher, so it is really good that Iowa is trending with the larger states like Texas and California, as the appreciation is comparable since 2020. The reason we go by median sale price over our average price home is because median is the center of where all homes are sold. This means outliers do not affect median home sale prices as much, where the average is very volatile if many homes sell at an extremely high price or extremely low price. I want to touch on where interest rates are currently. Interest rates right now in the middle of November are currently sitting around 7 to 7.5%. For easy math, we're going to show you a $200,000 home for principal and interest. Quick disclosure, we are not calculating property taxes or insurance into these numbers as they are area dependent. And we also will show a $300,000 home at the current interest rate of 7.5, as we want to give you the most conservative numbers possible. We're going to calculate a 10% down payment into these equations. At $200,000 with 10% down payment for principal and interest, the payment would be $1,258.59 at a 7.5 interest rate. Now, if you go up to $300,000 home with the same 10% down payment for principal and interest, the payment would be $1,887.88 at a 7.5 interest rate. Rates change all the time, so if you are curious what your numbers would look like, make sure to contact us at the information on your screen right now. Lastly, with housing, I want to cover property taxes and income taxes. Iowa is not the best when it comes to both property taxes and income taxes. This may change soon, as there is word lots of changes are coming when it comes to income taxes, specifically in Iowa. Hopefully that little birdie is correct, but for this video, we're gonna go by the current model for income taxes. Iowa's tax system ranks 38th nationally according to taxfoundation.org, with the tax bracket looking like this. As you can see, if you make $0, you can't be taxed, and you'll see that it is broken down into brackets. If you make over $78,435 as a single or $79,435 as a couple in Iowa, you get taxed at a really high rate of 8.53%. Ouch. The average income in Iowa is $41,183 according to talent.com, and if you put that into an income tax bracket of Iowa, you would pay 6.25%. You add up 6% sales tax that Iowa has, and you really rack up the taxes here in Iowa. Then we got to cover property taxes, which is not the best either. Iowa's average property tax rate, according to iowatorch.com, is 1.52%. That means for every $100,000, you will pay approximately $1,500 each year. This is dependent on where you live in Iowa, but Iowa property taxes are high. For comparison, the United States average for property taxes is approximately 1% according to smartasset.com. This means for every $100,000 home you purchase, you can expect to pay $500 more a year, or around $42 a month more here in Iowa. We want you to be aware of everything before choosing Iowa. We also did a video that I will link above of Iowa isn't right for everybody, but is it right for you? This video should be helpful as well. Even though taxes in Iowa are not ideal, the overall cost of living is cheaper than the United States average. With the cost of living so affordable, I want to dive into the economy of Iowa, because if you are moving here, you are going to need to know what the job market is like in the overall economy. We are going to go over the cliff notes of Iowa's economy and job market. If you would like to see a 16-page PDF that goes deep into Iowa's economy and job market, a link will be provided below for you to check out in the description. Iowa's economy is solid as Iowa is known for its agriculture. Iowa is the #1 producer of ethanol and biodiesel due to its incredible amount of GMO corn and soybeans grown in Iowa each year. The state also is said to produce 7% of the nation's food supply. Other key industries to note include aerospace, industrial chemicals, construction components, commercial and industrial motor vehicles, food and food ingredients, printing and packaging, medical drugs and devices, and more. Some of the large companies at work in Iowa are ADM, Apple, Bridgestone, Collins Aerospace, Google, John Deere, Meta, Microsoft, Siemens, to name just a few. Overall, Iowa has a thriving economy with tons of great jobs as well, making the economy and affordability a very attractive place for many to consider living.